So I'm just editing this video and I just realized how noisy the background is. First of all, I'm sorry because my house is right by the street, so you could hear every car that passes by. So I'm sorry for that in advance, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoy this video. This is my official entry to booktube, so yeah. Well, it's been a while. I started making videos when I was an incoming grade 11 student, and now I am a graduating student of senior high school, so welcome back. And it's honestly been a crazy 2 years, and a lot has happened in my life, and it's probably one of the reasons why I stopped making videos, because I just got no time to do them, so I'm sorry. But like I said earlier, a lot has happened in my life, and one of those things was that I got back into reading. In 2020, I read a book by Adam Silvera called They Both Die at the End, and it was good. It got me out of my reading slump, but I made a mistake of reading Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston that got me back into a reading slump because I just had such a hard time finishing it. So that sort of put me off reading again. So yeah, but we're not here to talk about the books that I have read. We're here to talk about the books that I will be reading in the future. And as you can see, there is a lot. So we're just gonna put you there, and I'm gonna talk about them one by one and sort of tell you guys how I bought them, and maybe tell you a little bit about the story and stuff. So yeah. This is in no particular order, like I'm just basing off this huge pile in front of me. So without further ado, this is my physical TBR. The first book on my file is Verity by Colleen Hoover. I actually already finished this book because it was so easy to read. I think I finished it in like 2 or 3 days because like I sped through this book, and this is the first Colleen Hoover book that I've read, and I thought about picking this up instead of all her other books just because this is the most interesting to me because it's a thriller romance, and this did not disappoint, honestly. Like I'll probably like make an in-depth book review in the future, but right now would recommend. Really good. Really good. So the next book on my pile, and the book I am currently reading, is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I picked this up because Book Talk told me to, and Booktube. This is like a big name in the Book Talk Booktube community, and a lot of people love this book, so I thought of picking it up. This is my first Taylor Jenkins Reid book that I will be reading, that I am reading. It was between this or Malibu Rising, but I was sort of more interested in the plot of this one. So basically it just surrounds Evelyn Hugo, a retired Hollywood icon, who seek the help of a unknown magazine reporter named Monique Grant to tell her life story. And so it involves the story of her 7 husbands, all the drama, all the people she hurt, all the people she loved, why she did the things she did. And yeah, I am more than halfway through, and I've been digging it. I could have finished this in a day if I didn't have any other things to do, but I have a lot of things to do, especially in school, so I'm almost done though, and I really like it, so yeah. The next book on my pile is The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. I came across this book from scrolling through one of the stores that I bought from, and I was really intrigued with the plot. So basically, Leon and Tiffy share a flat, but they've never met. So I think one of them stay in the flat for the day, and then the other stays at night. So they never really interacted with each other. I don't even think they know each other. It's a strangers to lovers romance in a way, I think. And I really dig that sort of thing. So yeah. The next book on my list is a well-known book with a well-known writer, and it is Normal People by Sally Rooney. This is going to be the first Sally Rooney book I am going to read, and I am nervous and excited at the same time. I know this has been turned into a show. I haven't watched it yet, but based on the reviews I watched on YouTube, some people love this book and some people do not get the hype around this book because they were so underwhelmed apparently. So I'm nervous to see what I think and where I belong in that spectrum. But it's basically about Connell and Marianne and their journey in school, I guess. I'm just gonna read the blurb because honestly I'm not too familiar with the overall like story of this, but I'm just gonna read the little blurb at the back. Normal People is the story of mutual fascination, friendship, and love. It takes us from the first conversation to the years beyond in the company of two people who try to stay apart but find that they can't. I actually also listened to, I don't know if it was Steph Borer or Haley Pham, who recommended this book under lovers who never got together. I think this has a sad ending. I think that was a spoiler, but either way, I'm still gonna read this and I'm excited to do so because I really want to read more Sally Rooney books in the future. So hopefully I like this, then I'll probably move on to her other works. So yeah. Up next is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This has been on my TBR for such a long time, but I never really got around to buying it because it's an enemies to lovers, but in a circus setting, if that makes sense. I think they're two magicians who duel with each other, and yeah, that's all I know, but that's enough to make me interested in reading it, so I bought it. So there you go. I can't really tell you guys anything more about this book because I know nothing apart from the fact that it is enemies to lovers and it is set in a circus. But yeah, this is the first enemies to lovers book I've mentioned so far in this list, so yeah, there you go. The next book is This Is How You Lose the Time War. This has also been in my TBR for a long time, but I was sort of scared to buy this and to read it because it's a sci-fi book. But we recently had a lecture in school regarding sci-fi, and this is one of the novels that our guest speaker recommended to us, so it was sort of like a push for me to buy it. And I've been told that it's an enemies to lovers. I think it's either that or Forbidden Love, but let me just read the blurb at the back for you. In the ashes of a dying world, Red finds a letter marked "Burn Before Reading." So begins an unlikely correspondence between two rival agents in a war that stretches through the vast reaches of time and space. Red belongs to the Agency, a post-singularity technotopia. Blue belongs to Garden, a single vast consciousness embedded in all organic matter. Their pasts are bloody and their futures mutually exclusive. They have nothing in common, save that they're the best and they're alone. Now what began as a battlefield boast grows into a dangerous game, one both red and blue are determined to win. Because winning's what you do in a war. A tour de force collaboration from two powerhouse writers that spans the whole of time and space. So I'm very interested to see how that goes. And I've heard that the writing is a little bit poetic, which I'm excited and nervous about, I guess. I have trouble reading books that have words that are hard to digest, but I'm willing to risk it with this book because look at the cover, it's so pretty. And I really love the prose of it, so yeah, I'm excited for that one. The next book that I have is Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. And it is a childhood friends to lovers. And it's by the same author as The Honeymooners, which I read and I really liked. So yeah, that's pretty much all I know. I think it's told in two timelines, I think flashback and the present. So it sort of explains how they sort of broke off the relationship, I guess. So I'm excited for that. I hope it makes me cry. So there we have that. The next two books I have are both by Emily Henry. It is Beach Read and People We Meet on Vacation. So these are two books that are behemoths in the book talk and booktube scene. So I really want to read both of them just because I really love, I don't know, I love reading books about beaches for some reason. I really enjoy the On Honeymooners, but Beach Read is an enemies to lovers, I think, and it's about two authors, which I'm really excited about because I haven't read any book that's like that before. And it's, I think the girl writes romance and the boy writes literary fiction, and they're polar opposites. So yeah, I'm excited to see how that goes. And then People We Meet on Vacation is a best friends to lovers romance, I think. So it's about Poppy and Alex who go on vacations all the time together until 2 years ago when they ruined everything. They haven't spoken since. And I think it's about them trying to rebuild their relationship, their friendship in one vacation again. So yeah, I'm excited about that as well. So those are my two Emily Henry books, and I'm excited to read them because they have such great covers. I love the covers of these books, so yeah. The next book is The Wicked Deep, and look at this cover. This has got to be one of the most gorgeous covers I have ever seen. This is my only hardbound book because it's the only one available. They didn't have paperback in where I bought this from. It is a fantasy book, if I'm not mistaken, that involves, I think, 3 sisters who were killed because they were suspected to be witches, and because of that they haunt the town they live in every year. And I think it's also a romance wherein a new guy comes into town who doesn't know what's happening, and then this girl needs to save him before it's too late, and she's forced to choose whether to save the guy or to do something else to save the town, I think. I heard about this book from another booktuber named Ali, and I think she talked about this book in her blind date with a book video where she got this. And honestly, look at it, it's so pretty. And it seemed interesting to me because I haven't read that much fantasy books before, especially in like the witch sense. So I'm excited to read this. So there you go. Again, look at that cover. Like, honestly, I love that. Okay. The last book on my list is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. This is written by the same person who wrote The Martian. I discovered this book from my favorite booktuber, Jack Edwards, where he read, I think, the most popular booktube books, and this is one of them, and I think he gave it 4 or 5 stars. This is the second sci-fi book in my list because, again, I'm very scared of reading sci-fi because I have a hard time understanding it, but I'm willing to give this a shot because I love The Martian. So yeah, it's about a guy who was sent on a mission, but then he woke up and discovered that this whole team was dead. That is all I know from the book, and that is all I need to know to read this because that itself is very interesting. So yeah, Project Hail Mary. And that is all the books I have in my TBR right now. To be honest with you, I have like 8 more books that I want to buy this year, but I'm just focused on finishing these now, just, you know, because I don't have any money anymore. But best believe that after I finish these books, my bank account will be crying once again. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys are inspired to read some of the books I mentioned here today, if some of them caught your attention. If you guys like this video and if you want me to make more book videos in the future, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps me. That feels so weird saying. And comment down below if you guys have any book suggestions you want to throw at me. And if you want to see those potential book videos, go ahead and click that subscribe button because it helps me a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.